Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to unBEAUthered April. I'm your girl Beau Raven, and if you are watching this live stream in real time, thank you for being here. If you're watching the playback, that's cool too. So, really quickly, I'm actually about to do this little facial this morning. So, you may kind of see me looking over here, but that's because I got my steamer. Um, so I just want to say, I do actually have a vlog about to drop. I am still in the process of editing and doing all of that. But in the meantime, you know your girl good for dropping on a live. So y'all know the vibe over here. Just go ahead, hit subscribe, turn your notifications on, all that good stuff. And let's jump into the live. So really quickly, I'm going to be real honest with y'all real quick. I was actually supposed to do this live. I'm trying to adjust my phone so it's out the way. Do this live stream last night, right? But what had happened was, let me see. Hold on, y'all. I thought I was set up in here, but I'm not really all the way set up in here. So my apologies. But that gives y'all time to come on too. Yeah, so I was supposed to do this live stream pretty much last night, but y'all know how it be. Stuff got loud. The dogs, the kids, the man. And so we're talking about today what we're supposed to talk about last night, okay? Don't judge me. I'm just a girl. So I felt like this would be something. I literally just got off the phone with my friend. Like we were supposed to had already been I was supposed to already be on live talking to y'all and all this good stuff. Is that my doorbell? Man, because every time I get ready to go live, everything happens. Everything happens. That shouldn't be happening. That's when everything happens, okay? But I just wanted to come and have a little chat because I feel like too many times we be asking for peace, child. We asking for peace, but we still be choosing the chaos. And what I mean by that is like you be knowing the lie. You be knowing the lie and you just, for whatever reason, feel you can fix it, change it, whatever it is, no matter who it is, okay? Because we ain't just talking about your man, your bookie. Let me turn my thing on. And I feel like at 42, baby, we done been there, we done that, and at some point, it has to change. It has to. Why is it not? Where's my smoke? It has to change. It stuff just. It can't be like that, right? So I feel like a lot of times instead of, I'm not saying like you have to, I literally just told this to somebody in my family the other day. You don't have to go expose your wounds. You don't have to go scratch an open wound while it's open. I definitely believe that you need to heal. You need to do all those good things, right? But a lot of us will show up smiling, looking good, sounding good, but on the inside be breaking down. On the inside, it just be like a whole, y'all, I'm trying to look at y'all. I probably should have put the camera back here, but I don't have my tripod, so I apologize. A lot of us be smiling, looking good, sounding good, but silently like we're breaking inside. And I feel like that's because as women, for whatever reason, we believe like we can fix it, we can handle everything and do all of that. And that's not always good. We don't always know how to ask for help. And I think that's how a lot of these little sayings get put on the internet, like check on your strong friends and all this other stuff like this. But literally, I literally be feeling like sometimes we like the movie Wait to Exhale, baby. We be waiting. So like I said, I almost just didn't go live. Because just like the next person, sometimes I have personal moments too. But I had to remind myself that this is unBEAUthered April. Unbothered, not bothered. Unbothered April. And that means just showing up even if it's messy. I feel like this soft life trend has become a trend because I guess everybody's aspiring to this, but everybody's aspirations and goals and things are different. And for whatever reason, as Black women, we feel like we're not supposed to have a soft life. Like we supposed to struggle. We supposed to have all these things. That's not necessarily true. I don't know who told you you have to struggle, who told you those things, who told you it has to be like that to get it. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand we have life, we have bills, we have this economy, we have a new president, we have kids, we have family, we have friendships, we have relationships. Some of y'all got situationships, and all those things can play a role in it. You know, it really can, but that doesn't mean that you have to make yourself smaller. That doesn't mean that you don't show up for you. And to me, all those things, showing up for yourself, loving yourself unconditionally, all of that good stuff is what, I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, y'all. This was probably a bad thing to sit here and do my little face steaming while I'm talking, because I feel like I'm just not looking or talking to y'all. And I don't know if this will go far enough to where y'all can, let me see. Maybe I can turn the computer this way. Oh Lord, now, oh wait, no, see, I wasn't trying to end. No, let me leave it alone because it tried to end the live stream, child. Okay, we just have to stay right here. We're gonna have to keep it right here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. So, you know, like what I want to say is it doesn't have to be all that. Let me maybe turn this way. It don't have to be all of that, friend, right? It really doesn't. Yeah, maybe I could do it like this. So, like what I'll say, let me start with this. I'll start with something very, very recent, kind of, right? Let me see how close I can get here. Can y'all still see me? I think so. So, I'll start with something real thing. A lot of times we be feeling pressured. We be feeling pressured, and I'm telling y'all something about myself. That's a bit personal, without over extending, if that makes sense. So a recent friendship, or what I thought was a friendship, I feel like the camera is just, there we go. Okay. I feel like this works better, this little angle. Let me move my eyelash case, child. Maybe that'll, there we go. I think that'll work better. Sometimes friendships as well can feel like pressure. You know the truth. I'm right-handed and I'm over here. Y'all can't see behind this little mirror. You know the truth. You know how your friend is. You may be overextending yourself in the friendship, being more of a friend to this person than this person is to you. And for me, that has kind of been a pattern in my friendships. Like I will overextend in friendships, and I somewhat know what that's about. It wasn't like I didn't have friends as a kid or anything like that. I come from being a people pleaser, and I feel like there are like a lot of you that watch me may be people pleasers as well, because you know we that's just how we are. A lot of women are people pleasers because you know we're created to fix and help and nurture, right? But in that, even though I was trying to be modest as a friend and correct things as they were happening, it still felt off. Like, so what I'll say is like this particular friend, she likes to go out. I understood that about her. She wants to go to clubs, baby, and she wants to use men for money and for all kind of stuff like that. And initially, we never became friends based off of that. I literally feel like we were trauma bonded as friends, because we became friends because we were both going through a divorce at the same time. And we both had a lot of similar things that were happening in our marriages at the same time, right? And so that's really the just on how we became friends. So when I met her, what I gathered from her was her as a wife coming out of stuff and, then kind of like finding out she had cancer, like just a whole bunch of things like that. And so I really tried to like show up, be there for her. I shouldn't even say try. I did. But somewhere in that tenure, things changed. Like, I mean, she relocated up here, like the whole thing. Things changed with how she was. Because when I first met her, I think I was living in Beaumont. If I wasn't in Beaumont, I was in Longview. But it was one of the two. So once she got to this area, like I'll say the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I'll just say that, not to put out like her location or anything like that, because the internet can be real weird. Things started changing. Everything was like the club, and then she wanted to come home like literally 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, or the heavy drinking and I'm gonna take these men for their money. Like, it was all of this because she hadn't properly dealt with her divorce. And then low key, that may just be her personality, some of it, but when I wouldn't agree, because that's not my personality, I don't feel like I need to use men. I'm not the type of woman that, how can I say this without saying it like messed up? I'm not the type of woman that a man has to buy something for me in order for me to have it, right? Now, as independent as I am, as much as I can do all my own stuff, I'm still a girl's girl. I still feel like the man is supposed to provide and do certain things. I still feel like even if I have it, he should still do it, right? That's just what I saw growing up. I saw all the men in my family be, the providers and do what like most old school men do. And it wasn't being done depending on if I gave you sex or stuff like that, right? So that's really not my thing. And me and her started bumping heads, because when I would try to talk to her about stuff, she's like, "Oh, you sounding like my mama. My mama think I'm gonna get hurt around here, like somebody gonna kill me around here, messing with these different men and taking their stuff and doing all this, doing all that." And she's like, "Girl, I ain't got time. I ain't got this, or something." Then it's always a situation where other women are confronting her because she be messing with their men, or just stuff that I don't agree with. Now, I'm not judging her. I never judged her. As a friend, I tried not to judge her. And if she would ask me something, then I would give my truth on how I perceived the situation to be. But I just feel like we kept bumping heads. Like, I'm not a clubbing person. I don't really like clubs. I never have. Like, that's just never been my thing. I prefer, like, girl, we can go hang, we can go eat dinner, we can go get facials, we can, it's so much other things we could do. Especially being that we're both moms, and we're kind of like, I think she is already an empty nester, but I'm kind of like stepping into that territory, and she's older than me. So I would just expect a different behavior. But notice what I'm saying. I'm saying expect. And I think a lot of times these are the issues as women we have. We set an expectation. We put people on pedestals. No matter how people are showing us how they move, how they are, what they do, we tend to overlook because of our expectation, or because what we think the potential is, or different things like this. And this is how we get hurt, because we continuously lie to ourselves. When your mind, your heart, and your soul are not at rest, something ain't right? So she just couldn't grasp that concept. So it started turning into, oh, well, when I ask you to do stuff, you don't show up for me. But every time you've asked me to go to something, or you invited me, if it wasn't just too out of my comfort zone, I've gone, even when you've had me out till 6 or 7, even when, you had me in situations that were not safe. Like, I got to drive your car because you done jumped in a car with like somebody else that you don't even know, that's a total stranger. He drinking, driving over 100, you drunk, and I'm trying to really tell you, like, no, girl, don't get in the car. Like, thank God none of those things happened. Like, the car didn't flip, they didn't crash or anything, but still, it's just because I'm not gonna drive 100 to keep up and tell y'all. So I had to try to call because they were that far ahead, get the address to where we were going, because the other young lady was under the influence and I was the only one that really wasn't drinking. So it's situations like that, things like that, I just at 42, baby, at 42, like I just, even as a teenager, I didn't do some of those things, right? So I'm not about to start altering who I am as a person, make myself less to keep you happy or to do things like this. So she would catch tantrums, throw rants, all this stuff like this, and she just couldn't understand why that wasn't my thing. When I would invite her to stuff, it would always be family-oriented stuff. Like if I'm throwing a boil, or if we having like a little Halloween party at the house, or when I did the little party back in March after my mom had passed, just to kind of like come back out and be like, okay, y'all, COVID is kind of like settling down a bit. We all kind of coming out. Let's, as close friends, let's all do something. I would invite her to those type of events. And so what happened was her birthday comes up. And so all week I was like, okay, I'm going to go to her birthday, even though I knew I didn't want to be out starting at 11 and be out all that time and doing all that stuff. I was like, but I'm going to go because I want to be supportive. Well, when she couldn't reach me during the day, which I didn't even know she was trying to reach me because my phone been acting up. I literally, like my friend just now just called me and she was like, oh, your phone is like, I was like, yeah, I know. So instead of her being like, leaving a text to be like, hey, boo, trying to reach you, or hey, boo, like, call me when you get a sec or something like this. Because mind you, it's only like 12 in the day. You talking about we meeting up at 11. You text me all this stuff about how I'm not a friend and how I'm not this and how I'm not that. And I done been there for you through milestones. I done been there for you. That's what a friend do. If you just want somebody to go club hopping and doing all that, that's fine. But that's not, to me, the value of a friendship. So once she texted that, I think that was the breaking point for me, because what I can't allow somebody to do is challenge my character. Keep trying to make me feel guilty for having morals, because you learn that early on. If you go to church, you learn that early on. Sin is always fun. Doing the right thing is the thing that's hard to do. And so for me, like, you trying to guilt trip me into feeling bad about let me move this stuff over here. Feeling bad about the fact that I don't want to be a club girl. I don't want to, because it was always like this tone of like, girl, get these niggas to do this, like, that's not me. Come on, get up, dance on these. First and foremost, if I do go to a club, baby, I'm not getting up and dancing, because not even like that. I just don't want the attention of all the guys. I'm very shy. I don't want all that attention. People naturally gravitate to me, and I get attention and stuff anyway already. And let me tell y'all something about that. You can have people that like you all day, every day. That don't mean nothing to me. Everybody can like somebody, but when it comes down to being committed, and that's a whole different story. So it's okay to be desired by a bunch of people and all of that, but that don't toot my horn, baby. That don't do nothing for me. I don't really care about all of that. So my whole thing is like, I had to really ask myself, is this friendship really worth it at this stage in my life? If I feel like I have to lose myself, go outside of what I know is right or wrong just to be your friend, right? No, I'm not doing that. And then not even that, but having to continuously defend or state like, hey, girl, like you the only one that don't get it. Like everybody else gets it. You're the only one sitting up here, like the only one. Let me just say it that way. So I just feel like, y'all, when you are on a journey in your life and you're going certain places in your life, because at the end of the day, I'm just like you. I don't have it all figured out. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still getting there. I meet new people every day. I have people that's been in my life every day, but people change. So, you know, you deal with different personalities, different life situations, different things that cause people to react and act differently. I give a lot of grace. I give a lot of chances because I am loyal. But I had to ask myself, am I being loyal to potential? Am I being loyal to dysfunction? Am I being loyal to chaos? Because I'm not being loyal to a friendship, because this is really one-sided. It's it's lopsided. It's like a seesaw. Like when I'm here, you're here, and then when we on the same thing, we can't get on the same page. And I feel like this happens a lot, not just in friendships, but it also happens in relationships. It happens in families. It happens in situationships. So it's like a lot of people try to tell us, like, as Black women, we don't deserve the, or they may not verbally say it, but they'll try to make you feel like you're so undeserving. You're so undeserving of being taken care and being provided for by a man. You're so undeserving if you wear luxury, or it's like, oh, how she got that? You ever been around them type of people? How she got that? Girl, where? Oh, you dressed up. Where you going? Or, oh, okay, she drive this. She must do this. Or if they see you attached to a person, whether it's a husband, spouse, or, you know, significant other or whatever. Oh, you know, she must be using him, or, oh, he must have bought that for her. It's never that you could have got it yourself, or you did it yourself, or, you know, something like that. It's always like, it's kind of like discredited. And I really want you to understand that you create your own life. You create your own thing. I don't care how many people do it, how many times you see it, whatever the case is, how you want your life to be is what your life will be. Your words have power. Faith is the hope that God gives you, and you have to have the actions behind it. You have to set your things, like, you know, if you continuously say certain things, those things take root. But it's so good to have affirmations, speak things, make these things come to life, make, you know, all of this. And this is how you create this stuff for yourself. Loving yourself first is the first step, because the most unconditional love you can have is from God. Once you have that relationship as your foundation in everything, no matter who it is, what it is, or whatever, the bar has been set on how to love you. Because if a person loves you how God loves you, then you're on the right page. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, you want this soft life, but you living like you're struggling. And you can't live in the struggle, hide in the struggle, and then try to smile like you're living in a certain type of life or perception or thing. It don't go. You may have people fooled, but when you sit and you look in the mirror, friend, you are going to be miserable within your mind, your inner peace, like all these different things. You just will. It's no way around it. And, you know, I always use myself as an example. That's why I led off with something that kind of like just happened, because I never want to get on the internet and be talking about something that's not, you know, I could talk to you about marriage. I could talk to you about friendships. I could talk to you about dynamics in relationships. I could talk to you about unhealthy family situations, because, you know, I've experienced it. Now, I'm not grown. You know, I'm not considered a senior in life yet or anything like that. But I have, you know, just like the next person at 42, I've experienced enough of life to kind of understand at 42 that, like, hey, you know what? I'm not putting up with that. I'm not settling with that. I'm like, I don't have to accept that. And even if that is how you choose to live, I can respect your choice, but I need you to respect my choices that I make for myself, because that's not healthy for me. And I'm not going to do anything that I know goes against my religious beliefs, my morals, just none of that. So, I mean, you could say all day like you want peace, but your habits, your day-to-day, your actions, it all has to line up with that. Like as a person that's kind of like, oh, I guess I can move my seat. As a person that's been married twice, I've learned that a lot of times let me not say what other people, I'm gonna say I've learned luxury, soft life, romanticizing your life, all these things like that, right? It's not about the aesthetic or about a luxury, because everybody's definition of luxury is different. What is Verizon telling me? Everybody's definition of luxury is different. I like this e.l.f. lip gloss, right? It's $8. I would consider this look luxury to me because I love how it feels. I love how it applies. It's something that's going to be a staple that I'm always going to get. It makes me feel luxurious. But it's a brand. It's e.l.f. But would we consider this a luxury brand? No. So what I'm saying is, it's not about the luxury. It's just not. It's about emotional safety. It's about alignment, personal choices, where you are today, where you want to be in the future. Like these are all the things that it's about. It's not about what a man can buy me, how a man gonna make me feel. You gotta feel good about yourself before a man can make you feel like anything. You gotta be a great friend before you expect somebody to be a great friend to you. You have to have a good relationship with your mom, or be in a good space with your mom so that you can really understand, what parenting and stuff is. Or even if you have a bad relationship with a parent, you're gonna learn what these things are. So, I mean, I don't know, y'all. I just feel like it's not always about what somebody gonna buy you, or what you bought yourself for, even for that. Because a lot of people overcompensate buying luxury items or designer brands, and they be broke. They be house rich and they broke. They be car rich and they're broke. They be designer brands and they're broke, right? Don't have anything in the bank. Don't have nothing going for themselves. Just broken. I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying like a lot of stuff that you see, right? A lot of stuff that you see on social media, a lot of stuff that you hear on social media is not always true. Hell, even some of your neighbors, what like if you just be honest about yourself and pay attention to stuff that's going around, you can see people just in your neighborhood, in your church home, in your workplace, that pretend to be one thing and they're another. Now, I'm not saying go expose yourself. I'm not saying go put all your business out there, but I think as women, a lot of times we think like if we're saving money, that, oh, we got something. No, you just ain't spent it yet. You just ain't spent it yet. And when you spend it, are you spending it correctly and wisely? Are you investing? Is your money working for you so that you don't have to work? Understand what I'm saying? Or are you out here borrowing and scraping and doing everything? Are you living like check to check? Like a lot of these things are because we have not been educated, or we don't really know. We just don't know, right? It's okay if you are not financially literate and you get with somebody that is, and they kind of like, that's what being equally yoked is. Like they help you and they teach you and you learn. But it's not okay for that person to use those things to like come against you and make you feel smaller than and make you feel less than, right? Like I think I'm just in a place where I spoil myself. I don't know any woman that doesn't want to spoil herself. You spoil yourself, right? So I spoil myself occasionally, and I spoil myself unconditionally. But I also realize that I have real life responsibilities. I know that I have 3 children. I know that 2 of them are in college. I know I have 1 that's about to graduate. I know that I have 2 homes I have to upkeep. I know I got to pay for house insurance, health insurance. I know I have all these responsibilities that fall on me, right? So I understand that, yeah, I can live any aesthetic that I want to, but do I need to? Like I understand that with to whom much is given, much is required. So I understand there's a discipline about it. I understand that there's a discipline in my decision making about it. And then that's what creates living a certain way. That's what lets me feel comfortable when I sit up and say, okay, I'm not going to stress myself about this bill. If this gets turned off, I might be, upset that my lights got turned off today or my water got shut off today or something like that. It may be frustrating, but I know that I'm going to be like, okay, well, I trust God. I know God got me all in one. So I know that this situation is temporary or it's going to get better or, okay, I know that I have this coming. So I'm not, even though you may be walking through what you feel is a storm, y'all, he really don't put more on you than you can bear. God really don't. I think that's why a lot of times when I walk away from things, I'm not crying about it. I'm not sad about it, because if I'm praying to God that he orders my steps in every situation, if I'm praying to God and I'm asking God to create in me a likeness of him, if I'm praying to God and I'm asking God to continually watch over myself and watch over my family, why would I cry when God removes the things that don't need to be around me? Why am I crying about that? Why am I holding on to it? The only reason I'm be crying and holding on to it is because I'm trying to hold on to it for the wrong reasons. Because I already know inside that it's not for me, which most people do. You know it's not for you. You know it's not the right thing you need to be doing or the right person you need to be laying down with. You lay next to a person and your spirit can't even be at ease. Baby, that's not for you. And sometimes it could be you. You might have to step back and ask God, like, okay, God, like if I dreamed this about this person, is it them or are you giving me a sign that it's me and that I'm maybe insecure or maybe I'm not all the way healed or something like that? You have to really gain clarity. And one thing about God, baby, that I know, he gonna always give you clarity. If you ask for it, he's gonna give it to you. Anything you ask is gonna be given, right? So it's definitely a discipline about it, a decision about it, and all those things follow into your mindset. To me, that's how you create the life you desire, because your thought of how you romanticize your life or your thought of how you would like your home decorated, it's not going to be just like the next person. And just because you see it on social media and everybody may have like the white walls with the black and the tans or organic living trend or modern living trend or contemporary trend, you still have to find what works for you. I like vintage stuff. I also like modern stuff. I like organic stuff. So I'm kind of like a mix in the 3. It's my own style. It may not be what somebody else like, but I like that when people come in my home, they feel at home, because that represents me. I'm just a Southern belle. That's how I am. I'm the type of person, I'm gonna wake up in the morning, I'm gonna tell you good morning. I'm gonna ask you about your day. I'm gonna make sure, like, if there's anything I can do for you, it's done, whether that's me cooking, just anything to help kind of make your day better. If that's just talking to you for a second, whatever it is. I love people to feel at home. I like people to feel like it's authentic and it's real, because that's who I am. So when you come into my home, you don't feel like, oh my God, everything is so aesthetically pleasing, I can't get comfortable, I can't get this. Now, I ain't saying come and overstay your welcome. No, I ain't telling you to do that. But when you come here, I do want you to feel comfortable. I do want you to feel like at home. So, my aesthetic would be totally different from somebody else's. Baby, I don't even know if I have a name to my aesthetic. I made up my own aesthetic. It's vintage, organic is what I call it, because I do have like certain items that are considered like vintage style, and I like that. And that's kind of like what I'm used to seeing when I grew up. I never really was into a lot of the overly mirrored stuff. And I guess also the other aspect of it is cleaning all of that. I understand, like, you get dust and stuff. When you get all that glass, you got to wipe that, clean that. You got to do it, and you still have to dust when you have wooden furniture. But I don't know, maybe it's just like from me being from Lake Charles, I'm used to seeing like oak furniture, pecan furniture, stuff like that. So it's just my environment and how I grew up, which would be probably different from somebody in New York or somebody in LA or Atlanta. So I'm saying all this to say to y'all, like, you can have the aesthetic you desire for your life. You can have a life and live a soft life. You can have a life and have a realistic soft life, or fantasize certain things about your life and make those things come to pass. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to do all these things, but it starts with you and what you really want. And it starts with you wanting that, no matter that if you share that with somebody, you don't care about their opinions. Stop, Hart. Stop, Augie. Maybe it's raining outside. It's so pretty. I need to really get to editing. I need to call TCAP for my daughter because she wants to get her cat neutered. I got some things on my to-do list that I have to do today, but I'm really just like, I really want y'all to know, like, your energy is money. Your energy is currency. Your energy is wealth. You have to stop spending your energy on chaos. You can pick and choose what it is that you deal with or don't deal with. Create your boundaries so that you protect yourself. I'm not telling you to put on a chastity belt and keep yourself out of reach and just be so out of touch with reality that you don't even know who the hell you are. That's not what I'm telling you. But I need to put my facial moisturizer and stuff on. I was supposed to do it while I was steaming, but I got to talking. I'm just saying that just because something looks familiar doesn't always mean it's healthy. So, like, for example, me, I shared the friendship aspect of it that just happened. The familiarity in that for me was that, like I said in the beginning, this is where you take ownership. She and I built a friendship because we were going through something similar. I think that's a common thing with women. We look for similarities, whether it's when we're dating somebody, they have certain similarities from people that you saw when you grew up. You can't always just say like your parents or your parents' marriage, because when you get married, baby, you marry the whole family. And whether you see that family every day or not, you marry the whole family. So if I'm married to Butterscotch, I'm married to his entire family because he saw his entire family as he was growing up, and he pulls a little bit from each person. Some things he keeps, some things he leaves. Same with me, right? So that's what I mean by that. So just because it's familiar doesn't always mean it's healthy, because a lot of unhealthy things that we've seen in life, or habits that we picked up in life, or relationships that we were privy to, it really starts, the base of it starts from the time you enter this world with the first people that are around you, from your parents, then siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents. Let's take it a step further, your church family. Let's take it a step further, going to school every day, the people that you hang around. All these things help to shape and mold who you are, your morals, your things. You know, like if you go to school and you're in kindergarten and you come home and you're like, John was in class, mommy, he was acting up today. He was just being, so he wouldn't take his nap at nap time. He wouldn't do this, he wouldn't do that, right? You already recognize that, okay, that's a dysfunction. Something wrong with him. He acting out. Like the teacher told us to do this and he wasn't on task. You already recognize it. Or you could be the other type to be like, sure, me and John, we ain't take our nap today, mama. Teacher kept telling us, but it was funny. We was doing this. So all these things shape, because you can go to school and be the class clown, or you can go to school and do what it is you're supposed to be there doing. This, I know that makes sense. You understand what I'm saying, even if I'm not saying it right. I think you and I both can agree that Peace comes with letting go. I'm not crying over a friendship that ended because I understand that peace came with letting go, literally and figuratively. It was a sense of peace. I hate that the built up release was in it because I could have handled my emotions better. Even though I may have felt that I didn't like my character being attacked and things like this, I could have handled it better. But when we hold things in, because I know it ain't just me, I know you do it too. When we hold things in, um, it's just not good. And it sits there and it festers. And when it festers, these are the types of things that happen. But when it's all said and done, like I said, peace comes with letting go. Whether that's of people, whether that's of pressure, whether that's with pretending, whether that's with, hell, I think I said it all right there. What did I say? People, pretending, pressure. Yeah, when you let those three go, you're gonna find peace with yourself, because that's something that you deserve. Um, but I think where a lot of people get confused is, just because you deserve something doesn't mean you're entitled to it. And I know that almost sounds like it contradicts, but listen to what I'm saying. Just because you deserve something doesn't mean you're entitled to it. Because if you're not ready to hold it, nurture it, grow it, then why would God give it to you? Yeah, you deserve it, but why would He give it to you? If you want to be a doctor, you can't skip medical school and just go straight in and start operating on people. You fuck around and kill somebody. Why am I getting all these text messages? Fuck around and kill somebody. So you have to choose it. You have to choose that path. And then you have to educate yourself on that path. Gosh. One thing is, every single day that I get up, stop, Augie. I choose to create the life that not only feels good to me, but the life that God has promised to me. And I've been that way since a little child. I've been that way since a little kid. And I'm so glad that I have. Who? Hold on, y'all. Girl. Mm-mm. I'm so glad that I am that way. I'm so glad that one common thing that, I mean, people say things about you all the time. Like, you smell good, you're pretty, you're this, you're that, you're that, you know, right? But one thing that I'm most proud of that people always say about is, like, I'm a really happy person. I'm always happy, right? I wake up in a good mood, stuff like this. And that's very, very much true. What time is it? That's very, very true to who I am, because every day I get up and I choose to be that way, because I understand that I have people that I know that are the same age of me that are not here. They are 6 feet under. God has already called them home. Their journey ended, and my life ain't promised to me. So I want to do the best in my life. I want to live the best way that I want to live, whether that's me realistically romanticizing my life, realistically giving myself the soft life that, you know, I want for myself and for my kids, whether that's me, you know, saying, hey, God, what is it that I need for today? Not my goals for 10 years from now, 5 years from now, right now, in this moment today, Lord, what is it that I need? What is it that you want me to do? Guide me, show me, bring me to that, right? I don't know, but put in the comments, because I gotta kind of get off of here, y'all. And I really am just chatting. Like, this is stuff that's kind of like in me, stuff that I've talked with family members, with friends, with, literally just things that I've been noticing that's been going on like this past couple of months. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it and bring it on. And I know I didn't even touch on the marriages and in the relationships, right? I didn't even really get into all of that part, but I think even just in using the friendship, that's just a good thing because it goes the same way. You shouldn't be letting a man or a woman make you feel less than who you are. You shouldn't be letting any man or a woman try to control you in any type of way, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, romantically, sexually, uh just any type of thing. You have to still have your independence and be that, because you're gonna still stand before God, on your own. So I mean, I'm interested to know, because we building, y'all my friends, cousin BEAUdae. All you gotta do to be BEAUdae Krewe is like and subscribe, right? Make sure that you're watching to the end of the videos and the lives, because that is the most important thing. You can subscribe all day, but watching is, to me, watching to the end is more important than you subscribing. But if you could, if you're not, I challenge you to drop in the comments and answer this question. Have you ever had to walk away from someone or something that didn't line up with the life that you are creating? How did it affect you? So thank y'all for joining in for this live stream from unBEAUthered April. I'm going to try to get the vlog up today. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. This is Lent season. I am fasting. And when you're fasting and praying, a lot of things start shifting in your life. And so I don't want to be neglectful of the things I've prayed for, like with my channel, when God led me to having this channel. I don't want to neglect y'all in any type of way, because I just feel like the community, the friendship, the authenticity, all the things that I have with y'all, I am just beyond appreciative for it. Sorry, my daughter texted me. I'm just appreciative of it, and I never take it for granted. I do know that I have goals here for myself, personal goals for myself here on the channel. I have goals that I want to accomplish with you here on the channel. So I don't want to get all sad and sobby. That's not what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to catch y'all a bit later. Please make sure you share and like. And even if you're still sitting in whatever that is, family ship, relationship, situationship, friendship, and stuff is going wrong, share what you want to share. But I really would love if y'all would answer that question for me, because I go through it too. Hell, I might come up in the comments and answer it for y'all my own self. I mean, I pretty much just did, but I think we got to stop settling. Not I think, I know we have to quit settling. We have to quit settling for the bullshit, because once you settle for it, y'all, then people realize, oh, she'll put up with that. Oh, well, then I can do this. Oh, she'll put up with this. Oh, well, then I can do that. And they're going to keep trying, and they're going to keep playing in your face, and they're going to keep doing certain things to you, because they feel you don't have not so much a consequence, but they just feel like it's no reaction to their action. Or they feel they have you wherever it is they want to have you to do whatever it is they want to do. So you got to choose, and you got to choose better. And nobody can choose better for you than you. Even God wants better for you. Think about that. God wants better for you. God says you're supposed to have a land of milk and honey. God says you're supposed to have all these things. God has given you the earth. Why, baby? Why? Why would you run around like a dusty? Why would you run around and let these things affect you? And I know that it takes time to get to those places, because some people just got that gift about them, baby. They do stuff to push your buttons, and it just something can come out of you, but ultimately it's your choice, y'all. So I love y'all, BEAUdaes. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, watch to the end. I'm gonna catch y'all on the upload. Bye. Have a great